That's a lot. For all that I've played, I'm genuinely on I'm like level 6 prestige or something like that. Yeah, I'm telling you. I mean, if I could choose the ideal tenant, I don't know. We live next to. They moved out recently, but we lived next to a young family for a while. That was totally fine. It's again one of those things where I'm like, you know, their kids make noise at, you know, like 7 a.m. Okay, cool. So does ours. I'm not I'm genuinely, I mean, except for the fact that I, you know, talk during the day, obviously. I think we're good neighbors. And it's one of those things, I don't believe that everybody thinks they're a good neighbor. I think some people are like, I'm a trash neighbor. What the heck is this? But I hope that nobody calls me on it. But I talked about it before, but I really feel like when you live in an apartment, you gotta be more open to the fact that other people are gonna make noise, and you gotta be more open to the fact that other people hear what you do. So, simultaneously, you have to be, like, careful that you don't make so much noise, but also recognize that sometimes noise happens, if that makes sense. That is not the piece that I thought it was. Like, I always hear people the ones that bother me the most, you know, are when people complain about, like, dogs and babies. And I'm like, what do you want people to do? The freaking dog's making so much noise. Yeah, it's a dog. What are you gonna be like? Oh, shut up? It's kind of hard to get the message across. And then when people are like, oh, their baby, like, it cries. And I'm like, you know what? You're the baby, baby. Okay, this is like a horrible position here. Babies are excusable, dogs aren't? What do you mean, though, that dogs... Like, a dog barking at, you know, during the daytime? I mean, at night, everything bothers you, for sure, but... What are you supposed to do? You have to be a responsible dog owner? I mean, okay, so I'm preaching from a position of ignorance here, because I've never owned a dog. However, I have cats. Maybe it's a different story. Sometimes the cats just meow, and if I could make them be quiet so they would not wake the baby up, trust me, I would love to. But they don't respond to reason. They're you know, a wild animal. Hold on, we gotta focus for just the briefest of brief moments here, so we don't end up in the shadow realm. Oh, we're dead. If we're able to get out of this, oh my god, why would you do all that just to rebuild on the garbage hole? Like, no, I tapped the wrong button. We're toasted. Just send this one to the shadow realm. I meant to tap L, and instead I hit down on the D-pad. Now that's an embarrassment. Have you ever gotten a noise complaint on your streaming? No. I mean, which is, you know, again, I stream during the workday, essentially. So I think that most people, and yeah, and I'm not shouting nonstop, but I feel like most people are at work, so that limits it to begin with. And we actually got like a lot of space around us now. Like we don't have a copious amount of neighbors, which is awesome. Just for the record, in case you're wondering how I felt about that, it's great. But, I mean, also, like, I don't mind, like, I've been noise complained as an adult, and I never mind. It's just people are real, like, don't make me say the F word, but people are real weird. Like, people are, I'm anti-confrontation, like, I'll avoid a confrontation, don't get me wrong. But if somebody's making a noise complaint, you know, or if I want to make a noise complaint, I walk over, I knock on their door, and I go like, hey, could you keep it down? Which is like polite adult for, you're like way too freaking loud, knock it off. But people, and I'm not gonna say it's like, oh, kids these days or whatever, but I've noticed that, you know, there are people that, like, Kate used to practice music in our old apartment at very reasonable hours, and our downstairs neighbor, like, would bang on the ceiling with a broom, which is kind of like normal passive-aggressive, like, even that's not that bad. Okay. But then, like, one time, he actually, like, he went down to, and I mentioned this in an Isaac episode recently, so I apologize if you've heard this one before. Come on! They smell blood in the water. Let me place. No, that had to go there. I mean, I hate that I used a long piece for that, but it like actually literally had to be done. Let me place one more. Thank you. Has to be done. L spin, I sleep. It just... Oh, no. This is, what's known in the business as, delaying the inevitable. Yeah, that was horrible. I guess it's not passive, but, I mean, neither is writing a note. Writing a note is not passive, but, it is passive-aggressive. So anyway, he would bang on the ceiling, and then, you know, we would try to keep it down, but when we were playing the oboe, like, what are you supposed to do, right? You know, it's crazy. Especially because it's like, you know, 5:30 p.m. or something. That's why we have bylaws. But then, like, you know, the other thing is, after that, we, you know, we should get off of the Halloween theme, too. You know, like, the next time he did it, he didn't bang on the ceiling with a broom. He, like, went down to the front door and just, like, railed on the buzzer, like, for, I don't know, like, 5 minutes straight. So I, like, answered the buzzer. And you know he's there, because he's got to be there to ring the buzzer, right? I answered the buzzer, and I was like, hello? And just silence. Just like, I don't, it's not even like a, oh, like, be a man sort of thing. But, like, why don't you just say, like, oh, dude, I'm just, this is terrible. Why don't you just say, like, hey, you're, you know, annoying me with the music? Like, can you knock it off? And then we would say something like, hey, I know that we're annoying you as well, but, like, you know, my wife's a music student. She has to practice the oboe, and, you know, she does it at very reasonable hours, and, you know, these are the bylaws for, like, you know, here, so is there any way we could maybe, like, what's your schedule like? And then we could possibly come to some sort of, you know, like, understanding of maybe, like, you're not in the house at these times, so if she can practice then, that would be good. But instead, no, it's just like, you're just stonewalled. You know? Like, it's crazy. Like, I don't know. And then the opposite side of that is that there were so many, like, we had neighbors who I noise complainted, like, once every 2 weeks, basically, because they were upset constantly. Or they were making noise constantly. And we were, like, going to bed at, like, 3 a.m., right? Because this is, like, pre-kids when we were, you know, no-life stream YouTube gremlins. And, you know, I'd go knock on their door every time. And I've done it, like, you know, 20 times at that point. They just stopped answering. And it's just so juvenile. Like, you would, I would go over at, like, 3 a.m., knock on their door, and then they'd go, like, shh, shh, shh. Did you hear that? Shh, shh, shh. And then you just, like, knock on their door again, and you're like, can you just answer it so, like, I can say what I can hear you, You're wasted. When they're shut up, we're being stealthy. You're not being stealthy. You're like your shh is like louder than a rock and roll concert. Just open the door so I can be like, hey, can you keep it down? But instead they're like, you know, he'll go away in a minute. Just like, come on, man. It's just common decency. If you're old enough to get like fricked up on Molly on a Wednesday, like, just be old enough and mature enough to be like, yeah, we'll keep it down. At least lie. Right? Like, that's the way you're supposed to handle it. You're supposed to be like, oh, we'll keep it down. And then, like, you know, because you're wasted, you just forget about the way that the world works. And, like, 15 minutes later, you're like, hey, that noise complaint's ancient history. Send it. You got what I'm... You know... Yeah, we escalated a couple times. And again, like, I took no pleasure in it. I would rather they just, like, be quiet. But we did take it up to the... like, the apartment board. The basketball stuff was just... it's just ignorant, right? Like... it's like, you're my age. You're playing basketball? In your condo? Like... like, no offense, but are you stupid? I will say that as I've gotten older, and I've recognized that I'm stupid... the question, are you stupid, is less meant to be offensive and is much more meant to be like, maybe I found someone who's like me. But that's a real, like, are you stupid moment. It's like, what, nobody ever told you that, like, you can't play basketball on your hardwood floor? Hey, man, I pay my taxes. Allegedly. Free country. Yeah, nowhere in the homeowners association rulebook does it say you can't play basketball on the floor. Anyway, like, we haven't had a noise complaint for or against in a long time. It's quite nice, to be honest with you. I got no complaints about our old neighbors, the ones who just left. I can't remember why, but Amazon sent us, Kate ordered some Kind bars through Amazon, and for some reason, they sent us, like, way too many. Our neighbors did something nice, and Kate gave them, like a box of Kind bars. That's how much we liked our old neighbors. Occasionally, they parked a little too close on the one side, but, you know, nobody's perfect. And you know, that's the sort of stuff you gotta forgive now and then. If it's not a common occurrence. That's just shared living. You're always gonna, you know, encounter some frustrations in a shared living situation. And that's what it's all about right there. That was just a beautiful, like, tower we got there. Okay, fine. I'll screw up my combo. Anyway, most people are probably pretty reasonable. I love Vancouver, but I don't know, like, if anybody else is from the area. And I'm sure a lot of people feel like this about where they live. You can have crappy neighbors anywhere. But I do think that the city has, like, a serious kind of, like, above average amount of entitlement in it. I think that might be, that might contribute. That's a reputation that Vancouver has, for sure. Hello from Nanaimo. Oh, yeah, you guys are probably talking mad smack about people from Vancouver. Let us have it. This is like one of the few times I'm gonna be like, go off. But if you go too far, just be careful, because I'm gonna be like, hey, you know, meet me at Save on Foods. I just want to talk. Do you even have a Save on Foods in Nanaimo? I don't know. You might just still have Bill's Grocery. Look, that's why I'm... okay, go ahead. Sorry, it was your time to talk. I apologize. I took it too far. Took it too far right off the bat. What was noted GeoGuessr fans? What was the town on Vancouver Island that Sinvicta and I found ourselves at in GeoGuessr, and there was Fudd Ducker's Coffee? Powell River? I think it was Powell River. Why is Hooplander's name not pronounced Hoaglander? I'm with you. I mean, I feel like that's the... Oh, what am I doing, man? That's the trade-off for having, like, an unbelievable amount of Swedish talent come through the city. Is that we're always like, I can't wait for next year, Peterson's gonna be amazing. And then you're like, oh, it's not Peterson, it's Pettersson. It's not Elias, it's Elias. Campbell River. Thank you, Campbell River. Okay. We got a chance this one. We got a chance. Bless you. And bless you again. And bless you for a third time. Chance eroded a little. Get over it. Thank you. Thank you. We got a long piece coming up. Pippi long piece. Little too much building on the garbage hole, but look at that. Oh, that's a combo. Oh, that's a combo. You know what? I'm gonna build on the garbage hole. Do as I say, not as I do, okay? They're getting a little upset. That's not the piece that I thought it was to be. Happens now and then. Happens more than I'd like. Oh, KO? You shouldn't have. Like, legitimately, because I don't know if I can deal with any kind of aggression or strife right now. A little radio silence never hurt anybody. Very important long piece. Need a long piece. Thank you, thank you. What the heck? You're okay? For the time being, you're okay? That's horrible. That's terrible news. That we did not need a long piece there, man. We did not need a square. No more square pieces. Square, 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 square. Like how many? There was like 9 square pieces in 13 blocks. Crazy. All right, we're gonna give this another couple of tries here, though. Generally speaking, I keep it going until the bathroom break tells me it's time to leave. Yeah, they had me looking like I was playing Minecraft. And I gotta say, the bladder is at like a 3 out of 10. Man, I could probably, actually, to be honest, closer to like a 6 out of 10. So we're probably getting close to the pivot, but we're not quite there yet. But it won't be too long. It just, you know, I really don't want to leave a Tetris 99 segment without a dub. So I hope the stream snipers, of whom it's doubtless that it's their fault I'm losing, I hope the stream snipers are happy. Oh, I love Tetris so much, I'm gonna ensure he never plays it ever again. Very common energy you get on Twitch sometimes. No, it couldn't possibly be the misplacement there. You know what? Send them, dude. Again, rage, very powerful motivator. Simulated L spin. No, he do not have that dad bladder. It's just because I drink a lot of water because I'm not distracted by Genshin Impact loot boxes. I know people are like, oh, I can't go to the bathroom until I get a 5-star drop. I'm free from that kind of pressure. As a result, I consume a lot of water, and that would explain the bathroom breaks. Yeah, I'm like honestly, I'm like a Cadillac Escalade. Like, I consume like a liter of fluid per minute while idling. And this is not idling. This is like high performance. Unlike a Cadillac Escalade. Did you see and I'm not like a car guy, but did you see that the Cadillac Escalade, the 2021 Cadillac Escalade? So I already know the answer to this, of course, but let's pretend that I don't. Did you see that you can't see anything in front of you unless it's like minimum 15 to 20 feet in front of the grill? And then the way that they did the test for it, I can't remember if it was like Motor Trend or whatever, but it was like they had a bunch of like school-age children hold hands and then walk like they kept stacking them up, and then they just asked the driver to say like when you could see the first kid, and then he was like, oh, now. Like, oh my god. I'm a little frightened by the concept of these SUVs. Like an SUV in general, you know, worst case scenario, just kind of annoying to drive behind, but or to park next to, I suppose. But the ones that are getting like crazy, like the front end is so freaking big, you can't see anything. Yeah, it's like a school bus. NL looks like a really good Tetris player. Let this be a lesson to you that looks can be deceiving. I think I've been a little bit off my game. Now, it's funny, like in any other game, like if we were playing PUBG, and I had like probably like a 5-to-1 KDR, I would be like, you'll never see this again. It's the greatest game I ever played in my life. But in Tetris, you know, we're sitting at a 5-to-1, and I'm like, oh, this is an embarrassment. I apologize. Okay, I gotta be honest. Quite a lot of trash pieces coming down the pipe here. Saved. You'll regret that. You'll regret the day. You may still come to regret the day. Oh, dude, you just hate to see that. Sometimes you just gotta kind of eat the L, and then, I mean, you didn't have to build on top of the garbage hole another time on top of that, but turns out this is early enough that it doesn't matter much on this one. Little lucky. Maybe even a lot lucky. Certainly desperately need a long piece. Thanks for all the squares. Really appreciate it. And we're building on top of the garbage hole either way. Might as well have some fun doing it. There you go. Open garbage hole. So many squares. There's enough squares here, it'll melt your brain. Frickin' rainbows after it rains. There's enough miracles to rock your brain. 10 KOs? Wasn't even paying attention. Maybe that's the secret. Oh my god. Get me out of here, man. We need to do it like that. Yeah. Good choice, good choice. Seemed a little unconventional. Oh my. Again. This is mighty bad. Has to go here. Oh, that's terrible. Let me put one down. It's just gotta go in the right spot, dude. It's crazy. What are they feeding these kids? Okay, give me one more. Go back to distance learning. This isn't your game. Go back to... Get me out of... Yeah. We gotta play a school game. We gotta play a school game here. Stop taking modafinil, logging on to Nintendo Switch online games, okay? It's crazy. It's madness. Go back to Apex. Go back to Valorant. I do remember modafinil from Levy's lesson. That's what I'm telling you. There should be an over 30 queue in just about every video game that's out there. You know what's funny is that people who are like 27 in chat are like, ha, boomer. You don't even know what's fucking coming for you. I treated myself well, and this is the level of cognitive decline we got to. Get ready. You can hear the train a-coming. It's coming around the bend. Boop, 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 boop. Oh my god, I can't even... What the heck am I doing, man? I can't even parse what the pieces are. Like, what? That's a play you're not gonna see too much. That's a... They won't teach you that in Tetris school. I'm sorry, Tomo. I'm sorry. I recognize I've woken you up here. I mean, in my defense, you do choose to sleep in a room that's called my office, but still. That's what we're talking. Dude, maybe I did just need school theme. Like, that felt nice. Maybe my brain is just like, it's primed for school theme. Like, I think my rate of playing pieces has gone up. Actually, like, oh, frick. Not playing them all super well, but... Just wait for a bluebee. Yeah, just wait for a blue... you can just do that. That's fine, too. Oh, the drop is incredible. It's such a horrible song. I'm sorry, it's just like... Just, like, this is... you know... I know it's nobody's favorite song, so I know I'm not causing, like, a great deal of offense. It's just, like, one of those songs where you're like, it has no purpose. Right? Like, what is this song supposed to, like, evoke, or, like... You know what like, it has no... It has no value. It's valueless. Tomo, just give me a minute here, man. Just give me a minute, I promise. It's provocative. You know what I mean? It's like a piece of... It's like corporate art. It's like a painting you'd see in a hotel room. Like, it exists just to fill space and be kind of, like, inoffensive. But in its own strange way, by being as inoffensive as possible, I take great degrees of offense to it. You're okay. You're okay. Oh. It's like the art they sell for $3 at Target. That's actually an extremely apt way to describe it. I'll never forget, like, when we were buying, like, furniture and stuff like that for our new place. We went to a Canadian store. I think it's Canadian at least. It's called HomeSense. And some of the quote-unquote art you see there is just like... Why? I just don't know why you would choose to have something like this in your home. You know, like 90% of the art that they had there was just like someone else's pictures from like a trip to Italy. You know, you really want like, oh, yep, there it is. That's Rome. Oh, did you go? Like, did you like it? Oh no, I didn't go. That's just I bought that from HomeSense for $4.50. Like, I'll never forget. My parents stayed in an Airbnb once when they visited Vancouver, and you could tell that it was like, it was not furnished with love, which is fine, you know, like, it's not a big deal. But in one of the rooms, there was a piece of art that was a map of Canada, and then the map of Canada had a license plate on it, and then the license plate said, sorry. It's just like when you're visiting a city or something like that, there's some art that you kind of expect to see in like an Airbnb or a hotel, like a nice picture of the skyline or something like that. Sure, of course. Now, mind you, probably like 1,000 people have the same photo of the skyline. Who cares? Who cares, right, Tomo? I'm sorry, buddy. I can't let you out just yet. I know it's been a while. I don't expect you to understand. But, that's not how you want to play this one. I think we can pull this out. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, you expect to see something along those lines. But a Canadian license plate, it wasn't even a Canadian license plate, like it was just a license plate that said Canada on it. Like, they could have easily just made one for, like, any other part of Earth, you know, and been like, hey, this is we got a bunch of New Yorks coming out today. It's a big license plate that says, I'm walking here. Just a completely soulless and meritless piece of art. The only worth it has is in being mocked. Much like some of these Tetris games. It's inoffensive, and that's one of the big reasons why it sucks so much. I'm glad we're on the same page. Like, it's art for people that don't want art, they just like looking at pictures. Or like, you know what I mean? It's art for people like me, honestly, that like have no idea how to critique art and just say things like, oh, it's like photorealistic. Would you look at that? Okay, this is like things got a little tight there. Get over, thank you. We're okay. We're okay. Check this out. I've already planned my next 6 moves. It's like chess. Okay, it was actually 2 moves, but that's alright. You don't mind seeing that? Totally fine. Totally fine. Nice little combo. So 1 tile wide. We don't mess with a 1 tile wide. At this point in our life, 2 tile or get out. No, that was a perfect piece. It was the exact piece I needed. You know what's a high value piece? T-piece. Oh my god, like... Look, prove it. That was big. That was very important. There was a badge lord that had targeted us. That is not the piece that I thought it was. Mercifully, we may find ourselves still saved. Not the piece! Please, put him down faster, dude. Let me put down the orange. All I ever wanted in my life was to put down that orange piece. Please. I want to live! Let me one more! Die! Alright, it's probably better that we... Oh, we got killed by the guy who we beat!